Hey, it's Corey. We're back with Crypt here, and we got another build video for you. So I just want to show you really quick what it's going to take to put together a simple rig with just one GPU. And everything you're going to need to run that one card, essentially. Alright, well first off, we need our GPU of choice. In this case, we're going to go with this graphics card here, the GeForce GTX 1060. This is the overclock edition. We also need a processor. Just went with an Intel processor with the LGA 1151 socket because that's what my motherboard requires, which is the next component we're going to need. This one I decided to go for full expandability. We have up to 13 cards that can run in this. And apparently you can't run 13 all in Windows without a little bit of funny business. So we're going to continue to run Linux. Actually, in this case, we're going to be using our little flash drive here, 32 gig this time. And we're going to throw Hive OS on it. Actually, I've already got Hive OS on this. Hopefully it runs properly because the first time I did it, it didn't work. And we're going to see if it runs this time because I haven't checked it this time. And then we also got a power supply to power the whole thing. So we're going to need that as well, of course. And then, of course, you'll need, you know, your mouse, keyboard, and screen if you don't have one of those. So I almost forgot, we're actually missing one more thing, which is RAM, which I actually have an extra stick over here, if you can see that over there. Most likely can. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, we got that extra stick over there, which we're going to grab and mooch a RAM stick off of that. You know, shut down the miner for a second, grab a RAM stick, and we'll be back over there for the build. A couple mooched parts from my other rigs between my gaming rig, which I had this running temporarily, doing some testing and actually just letting it run. And I got this piece of RAM off of the mining rig as we were discussing earlier. One thing you may also want, depending on if you want the card right on your motherboard or not, you may want one of these, which is a Pcie Riser. Essentially, this will allow you to plug into the motherboard and then move your GPU or graphics card away from the motherboard so you can have disperse the heat a little easier. This just arrived in the mail, guys, so I'm pretty stoked. We finally get to put all this together. As I said before, this motherboard allows for full expandability up to 13 cards, so eventually I do hope to have 13 cards plugged into this. But unfortunately with the GPU prices right now, I'm not willing to buy more GPUs at these crazy inflated prices. So right now we're just going to stick with what we have and try to get as many as we can on this board. Beautiful. Alright. I'm going to start with the CPU. So the CPU obviously comes with the CPU itself and the a little cooler for it. Normally if you're making a gaming rig or anything like that, you're going to want to update that cooler to something a little beefier. You got something like that. I mean, this is a little older, you probably can find it though. But that's what I threw in my gaming rig, my latest gaming rig when I was building it. You can you know, go more pricey if you're into that, but I found my temperatures were quite fine. Got our little cooler here. Looks like there's a little thermal paste there on the bottom already. But I think I'm going to put my little dot of thermal paste anyway, just for a little bit of safety. I had a bit of thermal paste lying around, so I'm going to use it. So what you want to do is push this little gate in, so you can take it off. Looks, oh no, out. Sorry, not in. You unhook it, it comes up like that, and that exposes your socket. Then what we want to do is put this guy in gently. Make sure your arrow is facing the same way. So yeah, there's a little, looks like, yeah, okay. So on the cover here, there's a little arrow pointing that way. So you want to make sure the arrow on on here, down here is pointing the same way. Essentially, you want to be able to read the chip. And then, where are we going? There we go. Dropped right in. Looks like it's in place. And then we just bring this down. And when you push this down, the top should pop off. Yeah, like that. And then you just re-clip it in the same way you had it. There we go. Just like that. And that should hold it down. I'm going to grab a glob of my thermal paste here. Get on there. Don't want too much. Oh god. I'm mucking it up, guys. Hopefully this paste is still good. It seems a little weird the way it's gunky like that. Maybe it's no good anymore. But hopefully it'll still work. Anyways, we're gonna give it a go. I'll check the temperatures if it's no good. It's probably the worst thermal paste application I've ever done, but what you gonna do, right? So then we're gonna place these in the little holes. And I think I gotta push these down. There we go. There we go. So there's a clicking. As far as I know, that's what we want. Worst case, I can always reapply it, go buy some thermal paste if I need to, if I find my CPU is heating up too much. So we're gonna wrap this up to here. There we go. Alright, so that's in there. So to me, that's always the trickiest part. I'll find out if I did it all right once I get into the BIOS and I see the temperatures. It only goes one way, so really there's only going to be one. I'm assuming it's going to be this guy here. But if it doesn't work, we'll try the other one. Oh, that doesn't come out. That just stays there. It's only a locking mechanism on the one side. My old one had them on both sides. So you're meant to be able to push. Oh, jeez. Am I a complete derp? I am. I don't have DDR4. Wow. Well, I'm gonna have to order some DDR4. I completely forgot that I only had DDR3 memory, and this one requires DDR4. I may be able to scrounge up some from a friend, but for now I do not have any DDR4 memory. That is really unfortunate. And I should have seen that when I went to go line this up, that wasn't lining up. Good thing I didn't force it down too hard. Well, that was a dirt move. We'll be back when we get some DDR4. And we're back, guys. So, don't be a complete derp like me and think DDR3 is the same as DDR4. Well, I didn't think that, but I knew when I had upgraded from my old gaming PC to my new gaming PC that essentially I had to upgrade pretty much all the components. But when I bought the board and all the other components that I needed here, I forgot that my old gaming rig still had the DDR3, and that's where I was going to mooch the RAM from. So unfortunately we're going to have to buy some RAM, and the prices kind of suck right now, so we're just going to buy some cheap, I'm probably just going to get a 4 gig stick, because I don't think I need more than 4 gigs. I'm going to double check that, but pretty sure I'm going to just start with a 4 gig stick. So this is essentially useless until I find another motherboard that can support DDR3, and then maybe we could do another small build with that. So in the meantime, I've got my RAM mooched out of my gaming PC, so that's actually off now. I can't even use it, but for the demonstration, I'm going to slap this in here. So you want to line up your slot and not force it down, especially if you got the wrong type of RAM. There we go. We will need our graphics card here, so we're just going to plug this directly into the board actually for now, just to make things easier. But first we're going to plug in all the plugs we need onto the board to get us going here. Here's our motherboard connector. So those two are in for the motherboard. That end's going to go right here. Now we need power up here for the CPU. We also need power to our PCI here. We have PCI power here, 2 Molex connectors that we'll have to hook into. So it looks like we got a Molex here. We need our CPU power up at the top here. Right there. Kind of coil this around to here. And this is going to go into the CPU slot down below here. And the motherboard. Now we just need to get our mouse and keyboard plugged in. I'm just going to, actually, well, we might as well slap this sucker in too. I'm just going to put this into the one slot that accepts a card to avoid, well, I know my riser's good, but we're not going to use it anyway. There we go. She's in. And we need our PCI, of course. This one only has our power up here to our PCIe plug. So this one's just a 6-pin, so we don't need all of these extras. Alright, I'm just going to plug in our, I guess we're going to need our Ethernet as well, so we'll plug that in right quick, because we're going to want to do some updates and whatnot. I won't plug in our makeshift hard drive for now. I just want to see if we can boot into the BIOS, and we're just going to throw the screen up there now. I got the mouse and keyboard all hooked up there now. Just going to throw in the HDMI on the card here, so we have some sort of display to look at. I don't know if you guys can see that over here, but there's a power on and a reset button, so you don't have to so you don't have to connect a power button down here, which is really nice. So let's see. Turn on our power here. There's no LEDs or anything to indicate that we're good. I guess it's the moment of truth. Try the power button. Oh, everything's spinning. So far we don't have anything coming up on the screen yet. Oh, there we go. So she just popped up. I've never seen this BIOS before, so it's good that we're in the BIOS. We got the BIOS at least now. So if you want to see BIOS stuff, you're gonna have to wait a little bit. I'm gonna have to play around with it and see, you know, what sort of, you know, what I'm not used to it. So this BIOS is completely new to me. I'm going to have to play around with it a little bit, and then we'll get back to you and give you maybe an overview of that if that's what you'd like to see. If you'd like to see that, hit me up down below, guys. You know what to do. Just write a little comment. Let me know what you'd like to see as far as with this board. It looks like it's up and running though. Our temperatures are, the motherboard temp is 34 degrees Celsius. CPU temp is 28.5. So, I mean, obviously we're not running any load yet, so we'll have to check that later. So I'm gonna exit this now. So yeah, this is gonna get pretty boring for you guys now. I'm just gonna fiddle around with this stuff. If I run into any troubles at all, I'll make sure to document it, because that's what you guys are here to see. You don't want to see everything run perfectly fine, because that's not naturally what's going to happen. Just like when I accidentally picked the wrong RAM because I wasn't thinking when I made my order. That's something that you could run into if you don't pay close attention to what you're doing. So hope you guys like this. See you guys next time. We're all built. We'll get Hive OS going next time, and we'll see you soon. Take it easy.